a few various features. This is just a playlist impression. Venice has a very powerful playlist. It is a dynamic playlist. You can change up to 10 minutes before rundown and play out. You have the opportunity in this playlist to trim the videos, to replace, to reposition, to go out with blacks and so on. So it is even a small broadcasting playout app. That is, it is a little bit more in detail. So you see that you have, for example, logging instances, so you can log definite content. You can move in between. It is also our kind of unique representation of all XML structures. So either if you load a preset into it, if you load an EDL into it, if you load an ALE, they're represented here as a playlist. So it's not a horizontal like it is on Prontos or Clipstill machines. Here we have the playlist as central instrument for displaying the content that is either ingested in the machine, outgested in the machine, or transcoded. We have 3 multi-channel operation modes. As I mentioned before, we have these nice GUI you can build. You can build multi-device modes via RS422 on a classical way. We have the timecode chase options, so we can follow even audio systems with multiple channels, or the newer multiple channel mode with multiple machines, internal synchronization. So proxy generation. As I mentioned before, we do proxy generation in Venice or in Spicer. So new was end of last year, beginning of this year, that we can do it directly while recording. So you ingest material, you choose any of the codecs you want to have, DNX HD, XDCAM, or whatever you want to record, and you choose any of these proxy formats, and we put them in an MP4 container, and they're instantly available at the same time when you ingest. So there's no wait and after generation necessary. You can write them to a different portion, and because we use the StoneX file system internally, it's directly also distributable to your attached clients. Then is transcoding. One of the elements of it's not only an ingest, as I mentioned before, in a playout system. Another element is a transcoding. So any of the codecs supported from the system is also available for transcoding. So when you have a batch list, for example, and you record some material in an SD or in an HD, we have here the opportunity, because we have the Atomics board inside, to scale in hardware up and down in any direction, and to rewrap the material either, or to re-encode it in another codec, just as it would be an ingest. So there's not the need when using Venice to use another software for doing this purpose. As I mentioned, Venice has a hardware real-time scaler now because it uses the latest generation of our boards. It's the Atomics line now in. You have live up and down scaling during ingest and playout. Any channel could be either ingest, playout, and it could be even SD and HD at the same time. So you can build SD proxies and HD high-res files with one ingest. This saves a lot of time. We have also the offline scaling in the transcoder section, which is now also, it started with pure software, but now it's also fully hardware accelerated, so we get fast results and could guarantee for any channel, whatever operation is done, that it's always real time. P2 take, play out. P2 is sometimes a pain in the ass because of its file structure. So what we have added now is a metaclip concept towards Spicer and towards Venice. This metaclip concept translates the structure into metaclips that are easy to access and that could be easily then loaded, play out, and ingested into the system and could be transferred. 3D. Venice is a multi-channel server. It has 2 or 4 channels, so it could be easily used to record 1 or 2 3D recording sessions. We offer high bitrate codecs for doing this job, ABC Intra 100, for example, or HD 22040, or even uncompressed to do this. We have the channel grouping feature, so for one instance, it's very easy to record stereo material live. A new option is Stan for that. What is Stan? Stan is a software that was developed by Heinrich Hertz Institute in a research project we joined for more than 3 years. It's a very sophisticated kit of software that corrects a lot of the failures that could happen on a 3D shot fully automatic during ingest. So no second run. You can have abbreviation failures, lens failures, even slightly convergence angle failures, field of depth failures, and all these failures are corrected on the fly. It is a very similar product to the Sony box that is available as an external device. Here it is migrated in the software path. You can set up if you set up your cameras before a shot or an event is happening, you set up the parameters accordingly, and then you can directly stream out live corrected material. We have made 2 showcases here with Marina and the Diamonds and with the Fanta 4, which were live streamed into 250 cinema. In 1 month's time frame, we will do another concert, also supporting the live source directly for being streamed. And this could only happen if you can really correct any failure live and in real time. Then is looking like this. It's quite simple. So you have camera 1 and 2, both connected via HDSDI. There's uncorrected stereo. It's coming inside the box where the software runs in parallel to the rest of the Venice application. We correct it. We ingest it, so you can choose any codec it's recorded into. And then at the same time, we play it out, put it on a video switcher, and give it live. We are current Avid partner, so we are migrating at the moment the mechanisms of the web services to insert and to outgest from an Avid system into Venice. What is already done is the AMT and the AMA. We don't use the transfer manager here. We have a Linux box, as you maybe remember, and we don't want it to have an external device or an additional workstation at this point. So what we have done, we use this web interface Avid offers since a while, and it was a tricky way, but meanwhile we are in a very good way and we're nearby. So the planning is to release the whole thing in June. So what can we do? When you ingest Avid material from within a Venice, so you capture HD material, let me say to DNX HD, we could directly insert this material in an ISIS interplay system. It's automatically updated. You can browse with Spicer. You see the Avid ISIS. You see it in the nice Avid purple color that you are on the ISIS. You can browse the ISIS on it. You see that the insert is happening at the ISIS, and the MIDI composers could directly start operating and work on the material. So it's a full migration without any transfer manager, and it's live and it's during ingest. The same is what we can do is we can outgest, so whenever material is there, you can transfer it back into a Venice or in our storage structure, and later on insert it again with updating the ISIS interplay databases. Yeah, in a simple form, it's looking like this. This is more the simple way that we use the Venice for ingest. Here in this case, we have a DVS Spicerbox Ultra. This is a storage device where the material is stored to. On fiber, maybe another server playing it out. The same material is accessed from there. We are GigE switches from diverse Avid editing system which see it because we support wild scenarios. We have MXF OP atom structures that could be directly read and write back and manipulated during ingest and during playout. The other world is the Apple world. So we have quite a few installations running meanwhile, where Apple FCPs are used for editing of material that is ingested via Venice. Mostly we use MXF for Mac in this. This is a small toolkit that could be installed on any of your Apple devices and that allows the Apple to manipulate MXF data, to read and to write it natively, to ingest it. The advantage here on going MXF instead of QuickTime is the ability that you can also use wild scenarios. File must not be closed like a QuickTime file. When you ingest QuickTime, you have to wait until the fully file is ingested, and then you can start working on it. In an MXF scenario, you can open it 8 seconds after the starting of the record. We need a little short time frame to make it active and available for the system, but you can instantly start doing your offlines and doing your cuttings while the whole project is still recorded. Another thing we support here very soon is with the 2.3, which will come in June. We support also fully QuickTime now. We had lots of requests from this, and we added all major codecs, and it's an implementation made by ourselves, because on Linux it's not really available. Therefore, it took a little bit longer, but it will be available pretty soon. Yeah, same like there with MXF for Mac, ingest, going over storage, accessing the material directly. You can even do this from a Venice with an XSAN license because we have the Store Next file system, so it's not necessarily a SAN in between. It could be directly connected, and same way outgest. So, and I don't want to make it too complicated and too long, and I have my 20 minutes, and therefore I say thank you for your time, and I hope you get a small impression on it.